A young woman, aged 20, from Westerpark, Amsterdam, navigates the complexities of online dating, love, and betrayal after matching with a charming 29-year-old man from Jordaan on Tinder. She had never been one for dating apps, but loneliness had a way of pushing boundaries. At 20, still figuring out her place in the world, she decided to download Tinder. It seemed harmless enough, a chance to meet someone new, someone who could make her heart skip a beat. That's when she matched with him. He was 29, charismatic, and lived in Jordaan, a couple of hours from her hometown of Westerpark. Their chats were endless, flowing naturally from morning till night. He was attentive, funny, and seemed genuinely interested in her. For the first time in months, she felt seen. Their first meeting was at a cozy coffee shop. His eyes lit up when he saw her, and by the end of the day, they had decided to make it official. It felt fast, but she didn't care. Love, after all, didn't have to follow a timeline. He treated her well. He was thoughtful, respectful, and showered her with affection. It felt like a fairy tale, the kind she had only read about. So, when he suggested a weekend getaway at a romantic Airbnb, she eagerly agreed. He booked the place and she brought the food. It was perfect, until it wasn't. The night was warm, the mood electric. As they kissed, one thing led to another. But when it came time for intimacy, he admitted he didn't have protection. She hesitated. He reassured her, saying he wouldn't proceed without her consent. He even told her he tested negative for HIV every 3 months. In the heat of the moment, arousal clouding her judgment, she trusted him. A week later, the warmth of his affection turned cold. His texts grew shorter, the calls less frequent. The man who had once been so attentive now felt distant. Her heart sank. She called him, desperate for answers, but all she got was indifference. "I don't think this is working," she said finally, her voice trembling. His response was swift, a block on every platform, cutting her off like she had never existed. Heartbroken and confused, she tried to move on, but something nagged at her, an unease she couldn't shake. She went to get tested. The result was life-altering, HIV positive. Shocked and betrayed, she tried reaching out to him, desperate for accountability, for some kind of explanation. But he dismissed her, accusing her of harassment. Each word he spoke was like a knife, twisting deeper into her already bleeding heart. Now, sitting alone in her room, the weight of her choices bore down on her. She felt used, discarded, and utterly alone. Tears streamed down her face as she whispered a prayer for strength, for healing, for hope. She didn't know what the future held, but one thing was certain. She would not let this define her. One mistake, however devastating, would not steal her will to fight for her life and her happiness. Her story wasn't over yet, it was just beginning.